friends, if Disneyland Forward gets approved, when the final vote goes down this May, Disney promises to make it rain 1.9 billion little drops all around the Disneyland Resort. But my question for you is this: what will they do first? New lands, new rides, new theme park? Oh no, something even bigger. The first thing they're gonna do is build one of the world's largest parking garages. Again, ta-da! But let me tell you why this parking garage is so much more important than what you might think. This parking garage will hold the keys to so much of Disneyland Forward's future. It all starts back here. Without this parking garage, there will be no third gate at the Disneyland Resort. Let me explain to you why this is so important. But one of the greatest things about this that will affect everyone is this garage will house the transportation hub and security. And similar to how the base level of the Pixar Palace parking garage is where the Disneyland tram picks up guests, taking them back and forth, this new garage will also have transportation on its bottom level, which is going to be a big part of the Disneyland Forward puzzle. But once Disney gets rid of the Toy Story parking lot, what will they do with the massive bus fleet that currently takes up so much space on the edge of DCA and Disneyland? That will no longer be needed. The new parking garage will take over all the heavy lifting of this transportation hub. So if your creativity is like mine, you really have to wonder, what can Disney do with all of this space around me once it's moved away from being part of the technical part of the park and more of the entertainment part of the park? Soon, we will be able to say hello to a new parking garage, but goodbye to bus rides. I'm all for that. Making the transportation hub even easier for Disney to manage when it no longer needs, that's ridiculous. Because once Disney gets rid of the Toy Story parking lot and it's over 5,000 parking spaces, there will no longer be a need for such a huge bus fleet taking citizens of Disneyland all the way down harbor, dropping them off and bringing other folks back. This will be a thing of the past. To give you an idea just how big this new parking garage will be, Mickey and Friends is 10,000 spaces and Pixar Pals is 6,500 spaces. This eastern parking garage will have parking spots for 17,600 different vehicles, making it one of the largest parking structures in the entire world. So it's about 1,100 spaces bigger than these two combined. Between the parking garages that exist over on the western side and this new one coming to the eastern side, Disney will have over 35,000 parking spaces in their 3 garages. Wow. But hopefully, unlike Mickey and Friends, it won't always be one EV charging spot short. So I hope this new garage has a ton more EV spots, because I need the juice. This garage is a little short on them, and it is such a convenient thing to have. Do a day at Disneyland, and when you're done, your car's ready to roll. And friends, once the transportation hub is removed, goodbye Hollywood, because Disney will have a sizable expansion. This is a huge footprint of land for them to mold into something so much better than its current usage by just moving all of this right across the street. That will give Disneyland, the rough measurement that I did on Google Earth, and not counting every little square inch, but basically in the ballpark of about 350,000 square feet to add to the Disneyland theme parks. Not to the resort, but to the theme parks, the place where the Disney magic happens. And believe it or not, Hollywoodland is actually smaller than the transportation hub, coming in 100,000 square feet smaller at roughly 250,000 square feet inside of Hollywoodland, and that is including PhilharMagic, because nobody cares. This isn't something we have to figure out how to get a sky bridge over to people or a new transportation system. This space of land you can easily walk into from currently Disney's Hollywood Studio over at DCA, or you could cruise right into it from Tomorrowland, which as you can see is just right over this brick wall. And this could make for a sizable transformation of the Disneyland Resort, giving Disney a 500,000 square feet to create something new and get rid of one of its most problematic lands, Hollywoodland. conveniently located next to a massive potential for the future of DCA. How will the Eastern Parking Garage operate, and how does it benefit the overall theme park experience? First off, it will be connected to the 5 freeway, giving you the ability to get easy on, easy off, therefore eliminating having to drive through crowded Anaheim streets like you do to get over to the current Toy Story parking lot. Just like Mickey and Friends, you'll be able to get easy on and off the highway to start and end your day at Disneyland. It will be zoned to have up to 3 different walking bridges taking people from here across harbor over into the Disneyland Resort, meaning there could be a bridge that would take folks directly into Disney California Adventure, another bridge that could take people directly into Tomorrowland, and a third bridge that would take you into the current Esplanade. Now, I'm not saying all 3 of those will happen, but they're zoning it that way to keep those options available, because this garage will run the length of the current Disney Resort. And I do think that ultimately the new parking structure will have a very imaginative, very Disney-themed walkway that will take you from that parking structure all the way down to where the 3rd theme park will soon be in the Toy Story parking lot. I do imagine you'll have the ability to come off the 5, park your car, and then make a decision. Do we want to cross harbor and go over to DCA and Disneyland, or do we want to walk down this walkway and make our way over to the new 3rd gate? Me personally, can't wait to go to the new park. See you there. And how the Mickey and Friends Pixar Palace parking garages today have transportation on the ground level as well as security. I would anticipate the same thing happening in the ground or upper level of this parking garage, therefore freeing up a lot of space over in what we know today as the Disneyland Resort's transportation hub. This is the part that should get you very, very excited. Because what do you want? Drop-offs for buses or new rides? And friends, Disneyland building this parking garage goes to show one of the mantras that we talk about a lot on this channel. No idea at Disneyland never ever fully goes away. And I love when I make videos and people tell me, oh, that was canceled, they already said they're not going to do that. I always remind people that all the good ideas at Disneyland keep coming back and back and back. And what we do on this channel is we look at the past so we can better predict the future. Subscribe to Hey Brickey to keep going on these adventures with me. But remember, they almost built this parking garage once before, but due to a pushback from local merchants, they decided that they couldn't do it because the city of Anaheim wasn't on board. But years after the pandemic and everybody fully realizing what Disney means to Anaheim, everyone's back on board. And if this gets built, it will be much larger, much more ambitious, and serve the resort way better than the initial plan ever did. So, yes, going to show good ideas at Disneyland never fully go away. They just get put on a shelf and brought back off the shelf when it's time to implement that idea, when the time is right, and when the idea is perfect. This will change everything. So if you're not excited about the first big move of Disneyland Forward being a parking garage, let me just tell you one last time, everything that you dream and hope will come to Disneyland all starts with this. You know, it's funny to me because the internet is full of so many negative people that, you know, just refuse to open up their imagination. So a lot of times in the Disneyland Forward videos, I get told, oh, they already said they couldn't do that. They tried once before and it failed. And not saying that, you know, oh, I'm always right, because I'm certainly not, and I'm the first to admit when I'm wrong. But I love taking the opportunity to keep my imagination open and look at plans of the past and say, why did it not happen then? How can it happen in the future? And as we've studied Disney's past to predict its future, we see this happen time and time again. So as always, not saying everything in the Disneyland Forward series will come true, but I am saying that a lot of it is based off of things that we've learned from Disney doing before, so we can better understand what they're gonna do next. So when people told me they already tried to build that, the Anaheim wouldn't let them, it made all the people in Harbor upset, I just go, okay, you just wait, because somehow, somewhere, there will be enough money and power to resolve these issues and it'll get done. And that's the moment that we're in right now. So a little thank you to all of my friends that dream along with me and keep showing up on this series and using your imagination, right? I always wanted this series and some of my other series to kind of be that armchair imagineering that we all do. What if this happened? And if you don't agree with me, that's totally fine. I would never want an audience that always agrees with every single thing that I say. If I can give you one of my concepts and you think about it and you go, no, I feel better about my own opinion, then I just helped you reinforce your own belief system, and we're in this together. So anyways, I just appreciate everybody who watches this series and dreams along with me. And it is funny to watch the people that go, dude, they said no once, they said no forever. Such an immature way to look at the world. This parking lot will truly be so huge because I have just walked down Harbor for quite some distance, and I just now got to the edge of it. And way down there, you can see Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. So literally, I just walked the entire length of the resorts, and the parking garage space was still flowing behind me. Another Disneyland idea that I soon think will come back to life when Disney finally acquires Garden Walk. A huge mistake they made not purchasing the last time it was for sale, but I do ultimately believe that somehow they will grab this because Garden Walk is the missing link to everything Disneyland Forward needs to have happen on the eastern end of the park. Watch this video right here, further back in the Disneyland Forward series, where I fully break down how Garden Walk is that missing link. Thank you so much for watching. Brickey here from the top of a very windy bridge.